Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to today's ad-free live stream. If you're new here, my name is Tyler, and I'm going to be help navigating you through the wild world of day trading futures. And wild is not an understatement. It is wild. During these live streams, I'm going to be breaking down live price action, sharing my daily trading bias, and real-time trades to give you a front row seat to all the action. It's going to be a good one. Here this morning, no fluff, just the good stuff. Now, if you're watching after the stream, you can jump right to the key moments using the chapter markers below. You'll find all the trades that I've taken along with a detailed explanation of what I was thinking and why, so you can learn exactly my process in coming up with my trades. Now, for those of you that are ready to take your next step or take it to the next level on your own trading journey, I got a special discount code for you. You can use the code DTJ. DTJ will give you 80% off your next evaluation account with Apex. If you want to start your funded journey, or if you're looking to become funded and not use your own cash, use the code DTJ to get the best discount. It's always updated. Right now, I believe the discount is 80% off, and it's $85 to actually activate your funded account. So with 80% off, it's about $33 for a 50K account, $29 for a 25K account. So that's all the good stuff there. Let's go ahead and open in prayer and let's rock and roll. Let's see what we got in the market. Father, we thank you for another day. We thank you that we have the opportunity to build wealth. Father, I just pray that we would be patient in today's market. Father, we would wait for A+ setups. We would not be anxious. We would not rush into trades. We would not chase. But Father, we would receive what you have for us, Father. So we patiently wait and patiently receive, trusting that you provide for all of our needs according to not our own, but your riches and glory in Christ Jesus. Father, we honor you. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, folks, let's rock and roll. Let's get into it. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Jay, welcome. Glad you're here this morning. Let's go ahead and mark our charts up and let's see what we got. So yesterday, I was utterly disappointed with the price action of yesterday morning, and then ending the day having taken 1 win and 3 losses, and then seeing the absolute amazing price action in the afternoon. That was a slap in my face, if I'm completely honest, because I should have waited. I should have not taken the trades that I took. I did a video on this last night. I posted that here yesterday, but it was a slap in the face, a wake-up call saying, Tyler, why trade the crap when you know the better will come? You know, it's like the good is the enemy of what's best, right? The best price action was in the afternoon, and when I saw a good setup, I took it, and it actually didn't pan out. So I think understanding the environment that we were in yesterday would have been, and acknowledging it, and being willing to sit on my hands would have been very, very helpful in yesterday's price action. So that was a little disappointing on my end. I had to review that and spend some time thinking about how I was going to adjust for that. So here we are this morning. I have my high and my low for yesterday's price action. I have my London high marked right here. And let's go ahead and mark our new day opening gap on the 1 minute. Okay. We're going to just get that going here. It would be right around here. End of trading day. And beginning of new trading day, sitting right there. Got about 9 minutes. We want to make sure we get all this done so we can be ready for the market. So today is the 23rd, 10/23. Now I do these manually every day. There are indicators that will mark some of these for you if you want. I don't have those. If anybody wants to drop them in, if they use them, feel free to drop them in. I don't use them because I want to mark them up myself, and I want to actually physically look at and identify what's going on in the market, not just take it for granted here. All right, so what a opening candle. So right there, that's the midnight open. We ran it, it looks like in the London session. So London session ran midnight open. Now, let's run to regular trading hours real quick. This is yesterday's price action. And this is our PM high. So we really don't have a PM high. And our PM low was ran 4 o'clock, 4:02. So this would be our PM low around 3 o'clock. So I'm just gonna mark this here. Previous day PM low. And the PM session starts at 1:30. So let's just make sure 1:30 is not lower here. 1:30 is lower. So here's our 1:30 mark. 1:30. 1:30 is the opening of the PM session. So this is our PM low. And 1:12 is not our PM session. That's technically, we'll call that our lunch. That's over lunch. So 11:30 to 1:30 is lunch. The lunch macro time frame. But we start keeping track at 1:30. So we'll keep that there. I just want to see if it's going to be relevant. And the previous day PM low, that is not going to be relevant for us. That's what I wanted to see, was this level going to be relevant for us? And as you can see, it's not. We've ran these levels and we're well below it. So that's irrelevant for me. So we're going to take that back off. What is going to be relevant is the opening range gap, which we have our opening range gap is going to be up here. And we're way down here. This gray box right here is the previous day, Tuesday's first fair value gap. So you're going to want to make sure you have that on here because that's going to be relevant. It hasn't been ran or touched yet. This would be the first time we're actually going to see that level ran. Now I need to go to October 14th here. I need to find out where my haha, I must have deleted it. I knew I did. Here it is. Okay, so we are in the new week opening gap from the 14th. That's currently where we're sitting right now. Got 5 minutes till open. Let's jump to the 15-minute. Let's see what we have as far as opportunities for liquidity. All right, so we are in a 15-minute volume in our fair value gap. BISI on the 15-minute chart. And below that, we have liquidity. We have the previous day low and the previous day low before that. And then we have another previous day low that hasn't been ran yet. So we have multiple levels here of liquidity on the daily time frame. This is going to be very interesting because yesterday, what did we do? We ran the previous day high and higher high all right here in yesterday's price action in the afternoon. This is what I wanted. I wanted to play that so bad. And I just wasn't in front of the charts because I stopped for the day. I mean, it was amazing. It was a 50 to 70 handle move. That would have been amazing. Slightly, I'm irritated. Okay, so did we just sweep this low? We did just sweep this low right here. This is a minor buy side liquidity or sell side liquidity inside this 15-minute. Now look at the London high. The London high did sweep these equal highs that were sitting right here. So the London high that was created right here swept this liquidity and then we faded. All fair value gaps have been balanced. We do have a 15-minute that's not completely balanced, but that's okay. And we're there. So for all intensive purposes, at open in 3 minutes, I'm going to be marking our opening range gap, our 930, and then we're going to look on how do we want to draw down to these levels. On a daily perspective, this is what we're seeing. Okay, we ended bearish on the day for yesterday's price action, even though we ran the highs, right? So if we sweep the highs and close red or black, that brings my attention to lower prices. Now, what's the narrative? How are we going to get these lower prices? So I'm bearish as far as today. I say I'm bearish. Maybe we're not bearish. Let's look at the weekly here. I need to look at the weekly. I think we're in a weird spot. I'm pulling back my statement because we could easily find support right here and just explode higher and run the previous week high and finish out this fair value gap. So there's reason. But we also have this nice liquidity that it will want to run for. So we just need to figure out when and how it wants to run. All right, let's drop down to the 1 minute here and let's start looking at price. All right, so we have 30 seconds. We swept sell side here, so we've hit a level of liquidity and we could begin to move the other direction. We could move higher. We'll see if it wants to do that. All right, so there is where the opening range gap is going to be. It's going to be somewhere around here. Low resistance liquidity right here. We just swept that high. Let's see if we want to hold that or if we're not. We didn't even close above this fair value gap here. I think it's decided. I'm looking at these lows right now. That's what I'm going to be looking for, is these previous day lows here. I want to see if we can close below the previous day fair value gap. What do we got for news, folks? Wednesday, we have October 23rd. We have existing home sales at 10 a.m. Okay. Orange folder news. Okay, look at these three candles here. Look at these three candles. Wiki, Wiki, and potentially Wiki. I'm marking out the previous day low and high on ES just so I know when that is being swept on ES and NQ, so I can compare between the two. It's just on another chart I have. We're going to start including that in my analysis. All right, look at the rejection of that first fair value gap from yesterday. Oh, it didn't. It actually went right back through it. We haven't got our first fair value gap either. Still inside this new week opening gap as well, and the fair value gap. There's not another 5-minute in price action here except for these lows. So this 15-minute really is the one holding it up. Let me look at this here. Yeah, there is nothing in price action. If we close below this 15, we will run those lows. That's how I'm viewing this, okay? There's not a single fair value gap on the 5-minute nor the 15 below this level right here. So if we close below this at 945, we will probably see a price run for these lows. This is important. There's not another smaller fair value gap. Maybe there is on the 30-second, but I'm not paying attention to that right now. I saw this come up to 930. We're going to see how it rejects that, if it wants to reject it or if it's going to push through it. I have not looked at anybody's comments if you guys are chatting. But good morning. Good morning, good morning. I'm glad you guys are here. Not a fair value gap on the 30-second either that we could use. There is this one right here to the downside. All right, let's say good morning. So we got Jay, good morning. Sandra, Deborah, good morning. Yesterday was brutal. Today will be better. It will be better. Charles, good morning. Apple, good morning. Villainous, good morning. Orange folder news at 10. Yes. Alki, good morning. Oh, the winner circle trader. Good luck to you as well, my friend. Viking, good morning. Winner circle trader. You said just my 2 cents. What's your 2 cents? I'm watching this 30-second right here. I'm not going to take it. I want to see it work. I will let it go without me. I want to see it work. Good morning, winner. This is the time, traders, to breathe deeply, release the mouse, and simply wait for the setup just to show up. If it does, enter with correct size and be ready to take a loss or let it roll. Be calm. Those are, can't say it better. Can't say it better, my friend. Look at the wicks, 5 minute. It's over. I know, isn't it crazy? Yes, there'll be plenty of opportunities, winner circle trader. I'm just gonna call you the winner, Mr. Winner. You're gonna be. I don't know. I don't know your sex. Are you male or female? I'm gonna assume male, but we're gonna call you Mr. Winner. Unless you tell me you're not a man. Okay. All right, there's our close below this 30-second. I said I'm not going to take it. I'm waiting to see price action. I want to see price action be respected. Okay, so I want to see it run this low here. And if it disrespects this level, then I'm waiting, right? We do have 10:30 news. Beach floor, okay. All right, Mr. Winner. All right, so to me, this is disrespecting. This says sit on your hands and don't get in anything. For all intensive purposes, it looks like the 15-minute is going to hold. It has, obviously, we have 5 minutes and it could collapse here, but assuming it holds. We have all this low resistance liquidity and this opening range gap to fill in. So let's go on the premise that we hold and let's see if we can find an entry. Okay. The only thing that I can see is this breaker right here. And you could use the high or the low, or excuse me, the high or the close of this breaker. We got our low, high, lower, low. Low, high, lower, low. Let's see if it wants to break higher, find support at or around this level here. This would be our breaker. So I'm right now putting up different scenarios on what we could see with price. If we continue to fail, if we fail, what I would want to see, to be honest, I still would want to see a higher high, a sweep to see a breaker to the downside. Because I would want to see a sweep here. But if we're going to get a sweep, I don't see how we don't continue higher here. Yeah, I hear you, Mr. Winner. Here's the problem. I believe time is a huge factor in price. It's huge. Time is so important. So I want candles to run and move based on time charts, not necessarily tick charts. That's why I don't. As you'll see here, we're going to be entering a macro time. A macro time is a period of time where the algorithm will get a set of instructions and it will start to spool towards a particular level of liquidity. Now, at this point, I don't know where that liquidity is. I have reason for both higher and lower. And we just need to identify that. It could be the London high that's sitting up here. London high that's sitting right over here. Or it could be, I feel like my face is a little too big on this. Let's shrink my size here. And actually, we're gonna drop us down here for right now. I know you guys like looking at my face, but we're gonna pay attention to the charts. Just kidding. Hey, Mr. Winner, if it's working for you, keep rocking and rolling. I'm going for the trucker feel today. Trucker feel. I got the American hat. Just got an old. This sweatshirt is 17 years old. This is a 17-year-old sweatshirt. It was from one of my first real jobs. It was a flooring company, and I installed wood floors back in the day. Have you guys noticed we haven't had a... Oh, don't tell me that was our fair value gap on the 1 minute. Ugh. I don't like that. I'm not going to use that. I better mark it just because, and we'll see if it has significance. But I don't like how small that is. I mean, look how small that is. We're talking one tick. It's one tick, guys. I'm not using that. No. We're not using that. Actually, technically, the bodies don't touch here, so that actually might change things. That technically would be the fair value gap. I'm going to mark this just to see how it plays out. Why did I do that? Because these two bodies don't touch. So I need to fill in that volume imbalance. Low resistance liquidity. If we are not going to stay in this holding pattern, this should run. We just don't know if it's time yet, right? All right, it's the first 15-minute candle has closed. There's what it looks like right there. There's the closure of it on the premium side of this 15-minute fair value gap. What I would like to see on this brand new candle is a wick lower to create the wick, the manipulation leg, and then I would like to see us expand higher. So a move like this to run these lows right here, maybe even this low right here, stopping at 930, right at within the first 15-minute the first quarter, the first third of the 15-minute, first 5 minutes of the 15-minute candle. That's what I would like to see, and then a push back higher. Now that could be it. We may not get another push lower, but I think we do move higher. That's how I would want to see it take place. Now I could be wrong as far as the direction we're going, but I'm treating this new 15-minute candle as the first push lower is the manipulation lower. Now it will want to expand. Still, we have another small fair value gap right here on the 30-second. Let's go back to the 1 minute. Still nothing. I think we might get our first candle here. our first real candle. Let's see if it wants to do that. Nope, it's going to close it for us. All right, there's the close. That's an immediate rebalance. This would be nice if it expands. I don't like this without a single fair value gap in all of this. Yes, I'm having this, but this is like, I'm not liking all of that. Yeah, I do micros. So I trade on micros, but we trade micro micro NQ, the NQs or the Nasdaq, because that's just what I trade. I do have ES, but all my trades are on micros at the moment. All right, so we do have this breaker right here. Low, high, lower, low. I really needed to see an expansion through this level right here. I really need to see an expansion through this breaker, through this the first of the week fair value gap, and giving us a fair value gap here. I want to see a fair value gap here that will come back down into. That's what I want to see. Yeah, as you can, you can't see it on my screen, but oh yeah, you can't see it there. I'll show you here. You can see if I were to go over to my big monitor, you'll see right there, I don't have, it's not even logged in. So what we're looking at is on an unlogged in account. All my trades will be done on my micro account, which is this one right here. You can see it's highlighted in blue right here. I don't mark this one up because I don't do my analysis on here, so I know it's harder to read. Folks, let's hit 20 likes. Let's hit 20 likes to take that first trade on screen. 20 likes, and then I will take that first trade in a manner where it's visible for everybody to see. Now, this reminds me of yesterday, except it's being a little kinder to us by not giving us a sink in fair value gap. But we have this low resistance liquidity right here. I would love even more sell side to be taken and then us to manipulate and run the other direction. So it looks like we may get, let's see if we get a fair value gap here. Here we go. This is going to be our first fair value gap. That first fair value gap, this one did seem to work. At least did find some resistance here. Oh, come on. Don't close it already. Just about there. Let's get 4 more and then we'll be ready to rock. All right, so we did manipulate and run the sell side liquidity. We are in the 10 a.m. macro. I would love to see this break higher. I'm going to see if there's something on the 2-minute, on the 30-second. There is a tiny fair value gap on the 30-second. There's nothing on the 2-minute, nothing on the 3-minute. It's just barcoding, so we still need to just sit. It's really going to suck if that's what we're going to get during the 10 a.m. macro. For those of you joining, we 10 o'clock, technically we have news, so we may be waiting till then. We'll see if it wants to release and actually start moving after that. But we've just been in this consolidation right now, this just back and forth. I'm going to delete this one too. I don't like that fair value gap either. Max, good luck. Hey, I'm not in a trade, so I hope it goes in your direction. We did create equal highs on ES, and we did sweep E and Q here highs. Minor buy side liquidity sitting right here. There we go. We're ready to rock. See if we can get our first trade here. Hopefully sooner than later. But we are going to be patient. All right, so that 15-minute candle is still potentially doing what I want it to do. It wicked lower. It just took about 10 minutes for it to do that. Let's see if in the last 5 minutes this wants to start expanding. Because if it can start expanding and then close, that next 15-minute candle will be a wick lower. And that could be right into our breaker, which would be really nice. Let's get a higher time frame view again here, just to make sure we're not crazy. Well, this is the 1 hour. Look at the 4 hour. Man, there's nothing. There's not a single fair value gap. The 4 hour is going to close in 4 minutes. If this would look bearish. I'm not going to lie. This looks bearish on the 4 hour, especially if we close below this 4 hour. The thing is after the close, we'll probably get a manipulation higher. So we could see higher prices. I just don't know how high it's going to want to go. So long term, or maybe towards the end of the day, we see lower prices. Maybe right now we get a manipulation up. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I would like the manipulation up into this direction with the intention that we're going to go lower later in the day. I wish I could get in long to capitalize on this low resistance liquidity, all these highs without a fair value gap involved. but we've gotten absolutely no significant fair value gaps. There's no reason I'm going to get in right here, and you shouldn't either, because there's nothing in here that can give me an ounce of confidence that we're just going to explode. Yes, I think that's what we're going to do, but what's to tell me it's not going to do what it's doing right now, right? Oh, we just wicked above this this swing high, this minor swings high, and now we're going to run 15, 20 handles the other direction against me. This is why we stay out. Now that we swept a minor buy-side liquidity, if we get displacement that leaves a fair value gap, that will signal to me that, hey, we might move lower. But, I mean, look at this candle right here. High, lower, and now we're going to close here. Close as if nothing happened except for the wicks. This is why we stay out. There's nothing in me that wants to get in this. Yeah, I think ultimately the liquidity, the most obvious liquidity is the sell side liquidity. We just ran that. You need to understand too, this previous day high right here was just ran. We just ran that yesterday. This was created. This hasn't been ran for 2 days. This hasn't been ran for 4 days. And this level down here hasn't been ran for 5 days. Unless we truly are bullish, this is where I think, at least to some degree, we will be running these levels down here. This is what I would want to see happen. We might not get it, but that's what I want. All right, so here's that 15-minute candle again that I told you. The manipulation first 5 minutes, and now the last 5 minutes, it looks as if we want to expand higher. Based on what this candle did with the body. This body did not want to continue or close with any conviction in this 15-minute fair value gap that it wants to move lower. So for the short term, I'm looking at this 15-minute fair value gap right there. Seeing if it wants to reach back up into this level and potentially hitting our midpoint of our opening range gap. I mean, these fair value gaps are a handle and a half. I don't like those. I'm not going to mess around with that. These fair value gaps are too small. All right, it did an immediate rebalance. Let's see see if it wants to expand here. It's 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. This is the first fair value gap of the week, and look at this. Isn't that insane? I haven't. This is a new concept ICT put out there, so I'm having it on my chart just so I can start watching it and see. All right, let's see if this turns into our first significant fair value gap. Yeah, this is gonna go. All right. We just swept our low. We just ran into previous day 930 price. We still have 15 minutes left on this down close candle. Okay. This down close candle. The green candle gave us kind of a nothing burger with this retracement and closed green, but really inside that 1014 new week opening gap area. And now we're getting displacement on the first 2 minutes of this next 15-minute candle. I will use this as a long if we want to go higher. I need to see aggression though. Low resistance liquidity to this 15-minute level and to the opening range gap. That's an option. Let's see if it wants to continue lower or not. I do like the idea of lower prices, to be honest. I mean, we got all of this down here. Sitting and not taking a trade is not fun, but it's how you trade. There's immediate. That was an immediate rebalance. We should see it run this low now. Oh, it gave us a green candle. Interesting. Still think it's going to do that. Run that low. Immediate rebalance. Let's see if it wants to read that. I only like immediate rebalances when we see price intentionally moving in a direction. And with liquidity here, that could have been an entry for this low. All right, so it did run that low. Let's see if it wants to just expand aggressively through both these levels, or if it's just going to do this one. Price is heavy. It looks that way. Yeah, we're just here in this area that I'm not willing to go short. Why would I go short when a key level has been hit? I need proof and evidence that it wants to continue. Okay? I've tried this too many times where I'll go short here at these levels and then it literally smacks us in the face. Gap still wide open. What gap? Daily? Is there a daily gap here? Isn't that the gap that we just filled? See how I did that? It didn't run this low. See, this is what I'm talking about. That right there. That would have hurt. That would have hurt somebody. Trying to go short thinking it has to hit this level and then it runs against you 15 handles. No, it didn't. Only a quarter of it filled. I'm half tempted to take this one, but I'm going to let one more level. Give me one more level. I really want to take that. Okay, no close above this 30-second with this volume imbalance. That close was inside this gap right here. It needs to close above that gap to then run to this high. The 1 minute did close. I'm giving this, I won't take the first one. I'll take the second attempt. The second attempt, if we can make a lower low maybe, or make equal lows, or it failed to run that low, all of those tell me with an aggressive candle higher that it's time to move the other direction. But on the 5 minute chart, there's a new 5 minute candle right there. We have equal highs here. All right, so there's going to be probably our push on the 30-second. We haven't gotten a close yet. Let's see if it gives us this close right here. All right, there's the close. Let's see if it wants to run to this high right here. Again, I want to wait and see a price action respecting my model before I start taking it. So does this, it looks as, okay, so that worked. This inversion fair value gap worked. It completed. Now 77 to, that was a 10 handle move. So that worked, but we didn't want to take that. I don't want to see just a V-shaped recovery here. V-shaped recoveries suck. I want to see I need some pullbacks to give me an opportunity. So if it doesn't give us a V-shaped recovery, or if it gives us a V-shaped recovery with no retracements for an opportunity long down here, this will be our long to these equal highs and potentially higher. potentially to the London high. This is a breaker right here. Very small breaker, but this may be the only opportunity it gives us for a long if it wants to go higher. And if I'm going to take something like that, I need a 1 minute change in state of delivery to make sure I'm not catching a falling knife. It's 10:13. We're just about out of the macro period. So what can we say about this? At 9:58, in the macro time, what did we run for? What was the clear and obvious level? The macro was running the previous day low. Now the question is are we going to continue higher, or are we going to consolidate and move lower? No 1 minute change in state of delivery. See that green candle? It did not close above this down close candle. If you're thinking to yourself, well, now I'm missing my opportunity, Tyler. Well, there's going to be a better one. And you want the one that literally, as you're talking through it and you're trying to identify what looks good, you take the one that looks good. This one didn't look good, and it may just explode higher and we miss it. This is the part of trading that you just have to come to accept. Because if it closes way up here, I'm not taking that. I wanted to close right above this or around here. There's that close. Even above this down close candle. It doesn't mean it's easier. I still want to go long right here. I'm not going to do that because it didn't give it the way I wanted to see it. So whether it would have worked, if it would have worked, I would have told myself, well, it's not what I wanted to see. And if it didn't work, I would say to myself, man, it's not what I wanted to see, and I'm glad I didn't get in. So you just got to follow the rules that you want to go by. And no, it's not for me. Look at this 2 minute right here. We're being held by this 2 minute fair value gap. First 2 minute in price action. Interesting. We also do have a 5-minute change in state of delivery. Right here, right where the breaker's at. This is also a 5-minute change in state of delivery. It's technically right here. That's our 5-minute change in state of delivery and as well as our breaker. So we have a low, high, lower, low. We break higher. We come back down and we're hitting our consequent encroachment. Is there a 30-second in here? Dang it. If there was a 30-second in here that was obvious and we swept this low, I would take that long based on there being a breaker right here. But you can see the breaker looks a lot nicer here on the 30-second. Okay, there's the sweep of these lows in this candle. Let's see if it wants to hold or if it's going to push lower. And the reason why I say I think it may push lower is if you look at the 5-minute, we came into this 5-minute fair value gap sitting right in here. Let's see. We came into this 5-minute fair value gap in here and rejected it. All right, so I do like this. If we continue to get displacement and we don't run all the way through here before this, I would be interested in this. This is a A-, A+ type setup. This is an A-. Why? We didn't actually run liquidity to the upside on this push lower. So that's why this is an A-. An A+ is we run liquidity on the push higher, we sweep some highs, and then we run the other direction. So it doesn't give me the qualification for an A+ type inversion. We do have an SMT on ES and NQ right now. ES made a lower low, NQ has not made that lower low. There it is. There's a 30-second. I like this I like the SMT running for those highs. Only thing I don't like right now is it's 10:21. Mini breaker, low, high, lower, low. See if it finds support inside this fair value gap right there. We're on the 30-second chart right now. This now breaker is invalid in my opinion. It closed below the whole thing, so I don't even like putting this on here because it's invalid in my eyes. This isn't a good inversion. We swept this, but we didn't sweep this. If we would have swept this right here and we push aggressively lower, I'd be interested in that. But right now I'm not. The 2-minute is showing itself very important right now. It's not going to give us that 2-minute either. That 2-minute there and this 1-minute here are the most obvious obvious to me. Only reason I wouldn't like this 1-minute here is we already ran the previous day low. And it is clear to me it does not want to run this low. Unless it's just going to slowly get there and then aggressively run it. But if it was me and I'm on the algorithm, I'm running both of these as quickly as I can with the expectation that there's stops below here. It doesn't mean this can't run, because this is very, very possible it could just collapse through these levels right here. ES looks heavy. If ES continues lower, this would work here. And it looks like ES wants to continue lower, to be honest. Here's ES right here. This is the 5-minute. The SMT is from this low to this low on NQ. We did not get the lower low. So this is the low and the higher low. This is the SMT. Low, higher low. Low, lower low. The SMT only matters if we start getting a push higher. All right, here's an inversion right here. I'm going to take that. We already ran that high, so stop needs to be moved to break even. I'm going to let this run with the expectation we want to move. Okay, we just hit the high. We should take some profit here. I'm going to take one contract off. I took one contract off. We're down to 4. I'm really wanting it to push higher right now. That's why I'm not really selling anything. ES is expanding higher as well. Am I not on it? I'm sorry. There it is. I thought I was on the screen, folks. There's my position. This is what I want to see. I want to see that aggressive expansion. I want this to close with a full body. I do not want it to close the other direction. $160 ticks is 40 handles. Okay, that's a good enough full body for me to tell me we may want to, let's see if it wants to, we just swept that high on ES. I'm going to take another contract off.
Order submitted.
I'm down to 3. Okay, this was the first fair value gap that we marked in that I felt was significant. It's that level right there. Currently up 40 handles right now. We're going to sell one more there. This will be our next opportunity for a long right here. Is if we close above this this fair value gap here, we will run up to this order block and hopefully this high. There's our expansion higher. I need to see this close and go all the way through it. Now I'm not going to add to my position here. If I wanted to add it, it should have been down here. Instead, I sold. I'm not that advanced in my trading journey yet where I'm doing that yet. I'm good enough to know after the fact that this is where you'd want to add. Or if we get another push lower, then that's where you add. But we did sweep this high. If we get if we get a red candle here, I'm going to sell one more contract. If we get a green candle, then I'm holding. Okay, I just wanted to see it actually close above. We did fill this right here. Rebalance this fair value gap. See if it can expand higher from here. Up 180 ticks. Okay, we just inversed that 1 minute on the other chart we just inversed that. All right, so there is your long. If you want to take a long, this is your long if you didn't get in earlier. When it hits my level right here, you want to move your stop to break even. Your stop needs to go to break even as soon as we hit that high right here. Okay? Because on the 30, no, actually on the, no, it wouldn't be. It would be actually up here. I would move my stop to break even 100% right now. 220 ticks. We got equal highs sitting right here. Okay, this will be a take profit point. Okay, take profit point there. And actually, I would really want to see it move higher. Five-minute is inversed. ES still has not hit the highs yet on its chart. And for those of you joining, this is my first trade. We waited through all of this to get an entry here. And now up 40 handles. I do not want to see it come below this fair value gap. Thanks, Max. Appreciate it. Down there at the bottom where you see it, that blue bar at the bottom, entry was a 30-second inversion fair value gap. We're going to get a deeper retracement. I'm going to sell one more there, and I'm going to hold this last contract for the high. While it's running, guys, I do have to use the restroom. I will be right here. I'll be right back. All right, folks, we're back. I'm liking that fair value gap is still holding. We really don't want it to linger in here. We really want it to move from that point. It's 1040 right now. I want to see it run this high. I'm not sure it's going to run to the previous day high. I don't expect it to run to the previous day high. Previous day high is, I'm not going to do it on here. I'm going to keep this for right now. Oh my gosh, that is interesting. That first fair value gap that I marked out on 938. Check out that first fair value gap at 938 that I marked. That was really tiny, but I included the volume imbalance. I'm not gonna change it from the screen right now, just because I'm recording this, and I'm gonna put this on, make this a video here. And I'm going to be content with that. I'm going to be content with a sell there. $8:34 New York time. Either way, congrats. Yeah, I took the 30-second only trade for the day. Looking to hit this these equal highs there. Oh, I see exactly where you took it. Yeah, that was how many points you get out of that, Ryan? Oh, come on. Give me that push higher. I don't think it's going to give it to us right now. Nice job, Mr. Winner. ES is still has not ran its highs, so we're still good on our end here. And we should get that push right up through here right now. I sold most of mine around 40 handles. So this one will be another 20 handles, so 60 handles. This will be 60 handles once we hit this high. We just made equal highs on ES. I need to see it push through. Come on. There we go. Give me that push. Okay, there's the push. Let's see if it gives it to us. There it is. Oh, come on. All right.
Order canceled.
That's going to be it for today. Good move, folks. Good move. I do think we could go all the way up. We could go up to this level of the opening range gap. We could get there, but I'm happy with that move. One and done. I will not be taking another trade today. If you appreciated that move, the patience of that, hit the like button. I'd greatly appreciate it. That's going to be it as far as trades that I take today. I'm curious. Let's put it in the chat here. How many of you took? I'm going to ask how many of you took that trade. Thank you, Sandra. I appreciate it. I made a conscious decision before I even got on stream that I said I'm holding this trade. Thank you, Charles. So when I look at price action right now and the lack of wanting to run this low, it tells me that we're still bullish. We're still in a bullish environment. And we could run all the way through all of this, at least to this 15-minute right here. I don't, Mr. Winter, I don't use VWAP. I know some people use it and it works well for them. I use straight up price action. That's all I trade off of. And all of these lines on the chart are levels that are significant to me. Way to go, Mr. Winner. Yeah, today was a great day. It didn't start out that way, guys. This is what patience gives you. Now, if you just joining and you weren't on from 9:30, see the average time on here is 27 minutes. Okay, so when I do the collection of, I've had 100 people on this stream since I've started, and it's an hour and a half. And the collective time is 27 minutes. That means most people did not stay with me on this stream and go through all of this. Okay? Most people did not stay with me and go through all this. It is hard to want to sit somewhere and be patient and not take a trade, especially when you're watching somebody else. You want somebody else to take a trade, and the impatience in people will cause people to leave and go look for something else that's more entertaining, more engaging, people that are taking more risk. But that's not what trading is. Trading is the sitting, it's the patience, it's the waiting, and waiting for that setup to actually go long in. So why did we take the trade we took? We ran sell side liquidity here. I said I wanted to see this inversion either close or find support. If it closed below, I said we probably will run this low. But if we're not, and I didn't take this inversion long right here, and we didn't take this inversion long because I said this could be a fake out. It eventually came back down. I said as soon as this found support and we were aggressive and moved higher, I took this 30-second. There's a 30-second. Well, the 1 minute also did well as well. There's a 1 minute right here, and there's also a 30-second in here. And that's what we went long in. I successfully held through my first, not my first, but I successfully held through this portion of the trade, which has always been my biggest issue. I sold most of my position. I sold most of my position in this. And I held that one through it. As I get better, I'll be able to hold more of my contracts through periods like this. But do you see how we hit these equal highs and we have since then literally dropped? So Ryan, are you still on? If you're still on, I'm assuming you went short at 833. Way to go, Northern. Folks, I think what we're going to do, this looks like a nice short. We came up into this fair value gap. We have our consolidation, accumulation, smart money reversal, lower prices, potentially looking at this level here. If it wants to do that, it may not. That one trade, just FYI, that one trade, guys, cleared all my losses from yesterday. For those of you still here, what at the top I have pinned to the top of the chat, we have I put out a wait list for the Purpose Driven Trader Academy and Discord. So I have been with the intention of starting a trading community of traders that have a biblical worldview, that want to grow in their relationship with God, grow as traders, and impact the world around them. I'm beginning a Discord for that purpose. Now, the only way to access and get inside the Discord is going to be through purchasing the Day Trader, the Purpose Driven Trader Academy, which is a day trading course. Now, jumping on this waitlist will allow you to get into the Discord and get the course at the lowest price that it will ever be. I'm going to be launching it next month, probably towards Black Friday. But if you are even slightly interested, I would join the waitlist, because I'm going to give the lowest price to them, and then when I make it live, it will be at a higher price, and it will never again be that low. And for me, being a part of the Discord is what it's about. And in that Discord, it'll be opportunities to grow as traders. We'll be doing post-market review stuff. We'll be doing stuff like that for those inside the community. And my big goal is to turn this into something that's not just a one person show, but where traders can grow in their own trading, but also when they get to that point, now they have the opportunity to help others, whether it's one-on-one coaching and coaching other people. I'm really excited about where this could go, and this is how it begins. This is how it's beginning, and the Lord says, "Do not despise the day of small beginnings." So I'm really excited on what the future holds and where this is going to go. But if you would like the opportunity to get it at the lowest price it will ever be, you can click on that link, join the waitlist, and when I have everything ready to go in live, I will be sending that out to that list first at that price for about 5 days. Then after that 5 days, I will remove the price and raise it, and then release it to the general public or everybody else that's didn't get on it then. There'll be no, "Oh, I missed it, I didn't know, da 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 da." Nope. There'll be the only shot right then and there. So I'll leave that there. Also, use the code DTJ, guys. I really appreciate it. It's with all of the free stuff. I don't do any ads on this live stream either. I don't do any ads currently on my channel at all. I absolutely could, but I don't, especially on the live streams. I think that's annoying. I mean, who would want to see a commercial right in the middle of me taking a trade? Or you're in a trade. So It's completely free. Easiest way you can support me is if you do use Apex to use the code DTJ. I would appreciate it. Other than that, guys, that's going to be it for today. Phenomenal trading. I'm proud of multiple things. I'm proud that we only took one trade. I'm proud that we were patient through all the manipulation and drawdown. We didn't get manipulated into taking this trade lower, right? This big push lower right here. We didn't chase it. We waited. It hit a key level and we were still patient. We just didn't take the first long that gave it to us. We wanted to see more structure take place. And yeah, it turned out to be a great day. And how long before we took our first trade? Just under an hour. So we sat for about 56 minutes before we actually took a trade. So that is the ingredients for a multi-million-dollar day trader. And that's what we're shooting for, folks. That multi-million level. That's what we're hitting, okay? So we're going to leave it at that. God bless you guys. Stay safe. And we will see you all tomorrow, 9:15. We changed the time to 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. It's about 15 minutes before the market open. That's when we'll begin. Would love to have you here again. God bless you. We will see you tomorrow. Take care.